With the new wave of technology, what do you see the change for the investment calculus?
The California Institute for Regenerative Medicine, CIRM, is a unique agency. We're a California grant funding agency of $8.5 billion. We're founded and funded by the people of California. They voted for us. And our main mission is to basically accelerate the development of cell and gene therapies from really early stage research to the final trials that you need to do before you can file with the FDA for approval. And so Jason mentioned some of the transformative therapies, and there's quite a few examples. So what really jump-started this whole field was a lot of work that Kristen pioneered, which is CAR T therapies, where you can take your immune cells out of your own body, supercharge them, put them back in the body to fight cancer. And that has really allowed us to take that sort of technology and apply it to all kinds of other areas. And so a lot of what CIRM funds is an area called regenerative medicine. And so here we take stem cells in the lab and turn them into different types of tissue cells. So these could be brain cells, nerve cells. They could be islet cells for type 1 diabetes. It could be heart cells for cardiac heart disease. And once you take and make those in the lab, what really needed to be demonstrated was, can you put those in patients and can they regenerate dying organs or dying tissues? And in the last few years, we've seen the early evidence of this in clinical trials. So for example, there's been work done in Parkinson's disease where you can inject these stem cell-derived neural cells into patients and reduce their symptoms. And similarly, you can take cells, turn them into islet cells, transplant them into patients that have type 1 diabetes and take them off of insulin. Some of the work that CIRM has funded is a company called Neurona Therapeutics, where they're able to take stem cells, turn them into neuron cells, and inject them in patients who have drug-resistant epilepsy. And in very early clinical trials, these patients have seen 90% reduction in seizure rate. And so if that holds out in later stage clinical trials, they have a phase 3 trial with the FDA that they're planning to do that. This could be transformative, as Jason mentioned, for these patients who either first didn't have any therapies that they can use, and now they have a therapy that dramatically reduces seizures, and they can go on living their lives. And so that brings up the question of, you have these therapies that are being developed. They're complicated manufacturing processes, they're very complex products, and you're going after diseases that are fairly prevalent and global. How do you scale? And that's a lot of what Jason was talking about, is that these challenges are going to be faced here, but there's no option but to solve them, because if they work, patients are going to want them. The healthcare system is going to want it, and it's on us as funders, it's on the developers, it's on the investors to come together and find ways to solve these problems.